Hey there, everyone. Ready for a deep dive? You guys shared some really fascinating excerpts from the Brahma Purana.
Yeah.
And we're going to explore its view of Bharatvarsha,
Okay.
which is
Right.
the ancient name for India as this land that's, got intense spiritual significance.
It does.
Even the gods themselves
Yeah.
achieve their status through actions taken there.
It's it's really intriguing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Often think of gods
Yeah.
as like inherently powerful, but this text it kind of presents a different perspective.
Yeah.
It suggests that they earned their divine status through good deeds.
Oh, okay.
Performed right here in Bharatvarsha. It's like
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
elevates the significance of this land.
Okay, so we're looking at the audio version of the Brahma Purana,
Okay.
part 16,
Uh-huh.
which focuses on the description of Bharatvarsha.
Right.
But before we get lost in the geography,
Yeah.
I got to ask, what's the big deal with this Karmabhumi thing?
Ah, yes, Karma Bhumi.
Yeah.
It essentially means land of karma, but like with this cosmic twist.
Oh, okay.
Imagine the butterfly effect, but like on
right.
a spiritual scale.
Yeah.
The text suggests that actions taken in Bharatvarsha have this like incredible ripple effect, impacting not only your personal journey, but like the very fabric of existence.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
it's not just about like good karma getting you a free coffee.
Yeah. No,
This
no.
is some serious cosmic energy. we're talking.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about understanding that
Yeah.
every action, no matter how small, creates a ripple that extends outwards, influencing not just your own destiny, but like potentially the destinies of others, even
Oh,
the course of the universe itself.
wow.
It's a pretty profound concept when you think about it.
Yeah, you mentioned the gods achieving their status through deeds in Bharatvarsha, but wouldn't that imply a hierarchy of sacredness?
Right.
Are actions less potent in other places?
Right.
Like, what makes Bharatvarsha so unique in this regard?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The text doesn't explicitly address that,
Okay.
but it definitely emphasizes the unique spiritual energy of Bharatvarsha.
Okay.
Maybe it's not that other places are less sacred, but rather that Bharatvarsha holds a special significance
Okay.
in this particular cosmology. Perhaps it's seen as a kind of crucible for spiritual evolution,
Okay.
where like the stakes are higher and the potential for both great good and great harm
Yeah.
is amplified.
It's like a spiritual training ground
Right.
with cosmic consequences.
Exactly.
But it's not all about karma, right?
No.
I remember reading about moksha,
Yeah.
this idea of liberation from the cycle of birth and death.
Yeah. Moksha is a central concept in
Right.
Hinduism, and the Brahma Purana highlights that it too can be achieved in Bharatvarsha.
Right.
The text describes this fascinating duality. Bharatvarsha is both a place where you experience the consequences of your actions and a place where you can potentially break free from the cycle altogether.
So it's both a proving ground
Right.
and a launching pad for the soul.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It emphasizes this idea that Bharatvarsha isn't just about worldly existence.
Right.
It's about recognizing the potential for spiritual transcendence within that existence.
Yeah.
It's about realizing that liberation is possible,
Yeah.
even amidst the challenges and complexities of life.
This idea of action and consequence makes us wonder about the very ground where these actions take place.
Right.
And the text does go into quite some detail about the landscape of Bharatvarsha, right?
Absolutely.
There are all those mountains.
Yeah, mountains play a significant role in Hindu mythology.
Okay.
They're often seen as places of spiritual retreat and practice,
Yeah.
where sages meditate and seek enlightenment. The Brahma Purana lists several mountains,
Okay.
like the Mahendra, Malaya, and Vindhya ranges.
Yeah.
But perhaps the most striking mention is Mount Meru.
Mount Meru.
Yeah.
What's so special about it?
In Hindu cosmology,
Okay.
Mount Meru is considered the axis of the universe.
Oh, wow.
The very center of creation where, like, heaven and earth meet.
Okay.
It's said to be made of gold and precious jewels,
Wow.
towering over all other mountains.
Yeah.
Imagine a place where the divine energy is so concentrated that it, like, literally shapes the landscape.
Wow. That's quite an image.
Yeah.
It's like something out of a fantasy novel.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it highlights how the Brahma Purana views the landscape of Bharatvarsha.
Okay.
It's not just a collection of geographical features.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of cosmic order infused with spiritual significance.
And that brings us to those rivers, right?
Right.
I mean, the text lists so many rivers, it's almost overwhelming.
It is, yeah.
They clearly hold some special importance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rivers are often seen as symbols of purity
Okay.
and life-giving energy in Hinduism,
Mm-hmm.
and the Brahma Purana emphasizes their sacred nature. What's really fascinating is that the text compares all rivers to the Ganga and the Saraswati, two of the most sacred rivers in Hindu tradition.
So they all share a kind of spiritual DNA.
Exactly.
It's like saying every river holds a drop of the divine Ganges, even if it's flowing halfway across the country.
Right. It creates this sense of interconnectedness, highlighting how the spiritual essence of Bharatvarsha flows through the entire land, nourishing and purifying everything it touches.
Yeah. It paints this like vivid picture of a land pulsating with sacred energy from its towering mountains to its purifying rivers.
Yeah.
But we've been talking a lot about this idea of moksha.
Right.
Liberation from the cycle of birth and death.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the text about how one actually achieves that in Bharatvarsha?
That's a really important question.
Yeah.
And the Brahma Purana does offer some clues.
Fair.
While it doesn't lay out a step-by-step guide, it does highlight certain actions and practices that are seen as particularly conducive to spiritual growth and ultimately moksha.
Like what kinds of things? Give us some examples.
Well, remember those actions we talked about earlier, the ones that supposedly have such a profound impact in Bharatvarsha? Things like building wells, planting gardens, performing yajnas.
Yeah.
The text suggests that engaging in these acts of service and devotion can purify one's karma and create a more favorable environment for spiritual progress.
So it's not just about sitting on a mountaintop meditating.
Yeah, no,
it's about actively engaging with the world.
It is. It's about recognizing
in a way that benefits both ourselves and others.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that the spiritual journey isn't separate from our everyday lives. It's woven into the very fabric of our existence.
Yeah.
And by engaging in these virtuous actions, we're not only shaping our own destiny, but also contributing to the well-being of the world around us.
It's interesting how these practices, which were considered so important in ancient times, still resonate with us today.
They do.
We still value acts of service, environmental stewardship, and spiritual reflection. It's like these core human values transcend time and culture.
It's fascinating, isn't it? And it makes you wonder if the Brahma Purana is tapping into some kind of universal truth about the human condition, this innate desire to connect with something larger than ourselves, to find meaning and purpose in our lives.
And maybe those ancient practices reinterpreted for a modern context can help us on that journey.
I think that's a really insightful observation. We might not be building wells in the literal sense, but we can volunteer at a local soup kitchen or donate to a clean water charity. We might not be performing yajnas, but we can cultivate a daily meditation practice or spend time in nature connecting with the divine.
So it's about finding those modern equivalents that resonate with us, that help us tap into that deeper sense of purpose and connection.
Precisely. It's about taking those ancient principles and weaving them into the tapestry of our modern lives.
We've been focusing on the Brahma Purana's specific description of Bharatvarsha. But this idea of finding the sacred in the everyday, of cultivating a sense of interconnectedness, it feels universal, doesn't it?
It does.
Like it could apply to anyone, anywhere.
It absolutely does. The Brahma Purana may be focused on Bharatvarsha, but the principles it describes resonate across cultures and time, whether you're in the Himalayas or a bustling city. The journey towards moksha, towards self-realization, is ultimately an inward journey. It's about cultivating awareness, compassion, and a deep understanding of our interconnectedness with all things.
So it's not about escaping from the world.
No.
It's about transforming our experience of the world. About finding those moments of grace and beauty in the midst of the everyday chaos.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
It's about shifting our perspective,
Yeah.
opening our hearts, and recognizing that the sacred isn't confined to temples and shrines and mountaintops.
Yeah.
It's all around us if we know how to look for it.
You mentioned earlier
Yeah.
that the Brahma Purana doesn't offer a step-by-step guide to moksha.
Right.
But if someone were to embark
Yeah.
on this journey of self-discovery, what would be some key takeaways from this text? What wisdom can we glean from the Brahma Purana's portrayal of Bharatvarsha?
I think one of the most powerful takeaways is the emphasis on action.
Okay.
The Brahma Purana reminds us that we are not passive observers in this cosmic drama.
Yeah.
We are active participants, co-creators of our own destiny. Every choice we make, every action we take ripples outwards, shaping not only our own lives, but the world around us.
So the call to conscious living.
Yes.
To being mindful of the impact our actions have on ourselves and others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things
and
understanding that our actions have consequences, both positive and negative.
Yeah.
It's about choosing to act in ways that align with our highest values, that contribute to the well-being of ourselves and the world around us.
It's a powerful message for sure.
It is.
But it can also feel a bit overwhelming.
It can, yeah.
Like, where do we even begin?
It's true. It can feel daunting.
Yeah.
But remember, the Brahma Purana also highlights the importance of small acts of kindness and compassion.
Okay.
It's not about making grand gestures.
Right.
It's about integrating these principles into our everyday lives.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as smiling at a stranger, offering a helping hand, or expressing gratitude can have a profound impact.
It's like those tiny ripples.
Yeah.
Expanding outwards, creating a wave of positive energy.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful reminder that even the smallest actions can make a difference.
Okay, so we've talked about action,
interconnectedness,
and the importance of cultivating a sense of the sacred in our everyday lives. What else stands out to you from the Brahma Purana's depiction of Bharatvarsha?
I think the text also offers a powerful reminder of the transformative power of place. Bharatvarsha, with its sacred mountains, purifying rivers, and vibrant spiritual energy, is presented as a land that can facilitate spiritual growth and awakening.
So are you saying we all need to book a trip to India?
No, not necessarily.
To achieve moksha?
While the text emphasizes the unique spiritual potential of Bharatvarsha, it also suggests that the sacred can be found anywhere if we know how to look for it. Remember Mount Meru? The axis of the universe isn't just a physical location. It's a symbol of the divine energy that permeates all of creation.
So it's not about the external location. It's
about the internal state of being. Precisely. It's about cultivating that inner connection to the divine, that sense of awe and wonder that can transform our experience of the world. And we can do that anywhere, whether we're surrounded by towering mountains or sitting in our own living rooms.
It's about creating our own inner heart of Varsha, so to speak.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that the sacred is not limited by geography. It's all around us, within us, and between us.
This has been such an enriching exploration of the Brahma Purana and its view of Bharatvarsha. It's given us so much to think about.
It has.
The power of our actions, the importance of cultivating a sense of the sacred in our everyday lives, and the transformative potential that lies within each of us.
It's been a joy to dive into this rich text with you. And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to explore these ideas further and discover their own personal connection to the sacred.
Before we wrap up,
I
want to touch on something you mentioned earlier about the importance of ritual. I know the Brahma Purana talks a lot about yajnas, those ancient fire rituals. How can we translate that concept into something meaningful for a modern audience?
That's a great question. While the literal practice of performing yajnas might not be feasible for most people today, the underlying principles can still be incredibly powerful.
What are those underlying principles? Break it down for us.
At its core, a ritual is about creating a sacred space. a time set apart from the ordinary.
Yeah.
Where we can connect with something larger than ourselves.
Okay.
It's about intentionality, about consciously choosing to step out of the mundane and into a realm of deeper meaning.
So it's not about the specific actions themselves, but
it's about the mindset. Okay.
And the energy we bring to those actions.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can create that sense of sacredness in countless ways.
Yeah.
It could be through meditation, prayer, journaling, spending time in nature, creating art, listening to music, or engaging in any activity that helps us tap into a sense of awe, wonder, and connection.
So it's about finding those practices that resonate with us, that help us quiet the mind, open the heart, and connect with that deeper sense of self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about making those practices a regular part of our lives.
Okay.
Even if it's just for a few minutes each day.
Right.
The more we cultivate these rituals, the more we create space for the sacred to emerge in our lives.
It's like we're weaving those threads of intention and mindfulness into the fabric of our everyday existence. I love that image.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful way to think about it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the Brahma Purana's portrayal of Bharatvarsha as a land of immense spiritual significance where actions have cosmic consequences.
Right.
And liberation is possible.
Yeah.
We've discussed the importance of cultivating a sense of the sacred in our everyday lives, of engaging in acts of service, and of creating rituals that nourish our souls.
It's been a truly enriching exploration.
It has.
And I hope our listeners are walking away with a deeper understanding of this fascinating text.
Yeah.
And its timeless wisdom.
Before we move on, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. The idea that Bharatvarsha is this unique karma bhumi.
Right.
Where actions have a particularly potent impact.
Yeah.
Does that mean other places are somehow less sacred? Or are we all living in a karma bhumi, so to speak?
Right.
Regardless of our physical location?
That's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
While the Brahma Purana emphasizes the unique spiritual energy of Bharatvarsha, it also suggests that the principles it describes are universal.
Okay.
Remember, the concept of karma itself is not limited to a specific geographical location.
Yeah.
It's a cosmic principle that governs the interplay of action and consequence throughout the universe.
So whether we're in India or Iowa, the choices we make still matter.
They do.
They still ripple outwards, shaping our own destiny and influencing the world around us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Brahma Purana may focus on Bharatvarsha, but its message is ultimately about the interconnectedness of all things.
Okay.
About recognizing our role as co-creators of our own reality, and about living in a way that reflects our highest values.
It's a reminder that we all have the power to create positive change, to make a difference in the world no matter where we are.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It's a message of empowerment.
Of hope.
And of infinite possibility.
This has been such a thought-provoking conversation.
It has.
I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear your final thoughts on the Brahma Purana and its timeless wisdom.
It has been a fascinating journey exploring these concepts with you.
Yeah.
If I were to distill the Brahma Purana's essence into like a single thought, it would be this. The world is a reflection of our inner landscape.
Oh, wow.
Just as Bharatvarsha is described as this like vibrant tapestry of sacred geography, so too is our inner world filled with mountains of aspiration, rivers of emotion, and fertile ground for spiritual growth.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like we're all walking around with our own miniature Bharatvarsha inside of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just as actions in Bharatvarsha are believed to have this ripple effect on the cosmos, so too do our thoughts, words, and deeds shape our inner reality and influence the world around us.
So it's not just about the external landscape.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating that inner landscape as well.
It is.
Tending to our own inner garden.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where the real journey of self-discovery begins. It's about exploring those inner mountains, navigating those emotional rivers, and discovering the hidden treasures that lie within.
It makes me think of those ancient myths about heroes embarking on epic quests.
Right.
Maybe the real quest is an inward one, a journey to discover our true selves.
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
The Brahma Purana, with its vivid descriptions of Varsha, reminds us that the spiritual journey isn't just about escaping from the world. It's about engaging with the world.
Yeah.
Both internally and externally.
Right.
In a way that aligns with our highest values and aspirations.
So we're not just passive passengers on this cosmic ride.
We are active participants.
We're active participants shaping our destiny with every choice we make.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's a really empowering message, isn't it?
It is.
It means that we have the power to create positive change, to make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
Simply by choosing to live in a more conscious and intentional way.
We started this deep dive exploring the Brahma Purana's description of Varsha as this unique karma bhumi. But I think we've discovered that the principles it highlights are universal.
They are.
Whether we call it karma bhumi or something else.
Yeah.
We're all living in a world where our actions have consequences.
They do.
And where we have the power to shape our own destiny.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
The Brahma Purana offers us a framework for understanding those consequences, for recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, and for living in a way that reflects our deepest values.
It's been an incredible journey exploring this ancient text with you.
It has.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
I
want to leave our listeners with a final thought.
Okay.
If the Brahma Purana is a map of the spiritual landscape, what kind of explorer will you be? What mountains will you climb? What rivers will you navigate? What treasures will you uncover along the way?
Those are powerful questions. Remember, the journey is yours to create. Embrace the adventure. Stay curious. And never stop exploring the vast and wondrous landscape of your own soul.
And who knows, maybe along the way you'll even discover your own inner Varsha.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep diving deep.